Hello everyone, welcome to the class of Engineering Seismology. So today we will be learning about Python and its interpreters, which is Jupyter Notebook. So as you may already know that Python is a widely used high-level programming language, and there are two versions of Python, that is Python 2 and Python 3. These two are quite different, and in our course we will be dealing with only Python 3. For any programming language, we always need an interpreter, which basically runs a set of commands and gives the output. So in the same way, even for Python, there are online interpreters wherein you don't have to install anything on your PC, and also there are interpreters which you have to install on your PC and then run the program depending upon the operating system of your computer. So now today, speaking of interpreters for Python, there are different methods of installation as well. Most of the times Python might be installed in your system. In case if it is not installed, you can always try going to Microsoft Store and install the latest version of Python, or you can go to the Python website and download the latest version. Depending on your operating system, you can download the latest version of Python. The alternative is using the private distributions such as Anaconda and Pip. The advantage of these distributions is that it is extremely user friendly, especially if you are a beginner, and you can install both Python and Jupyter Notebook in a single installation. So I have attached this link in the description box, so you can click on the link and it will directly take you to the website. So upon clicking on the link, it will take you to the Anaconda website, and as you can see, they have a lot of packages which is used in machine learning and other data science related projects. Apart from this is the usual user interface of Anaconda, which you will see once you install this. So scroll down, and mine is Windows 10 64-bit and Python 3.8 is the latest version. So upon completion of the download, open the folder containing the downloaded file and right click, run as administrator, click yes, and next, I agree. So again, this depends upon user, and I'll go to the first option, that is just me. And again, if you're okay with the folder where the program is getting installed, then go ahead. Otherwise, click browse and you can change the location of the folder. And I'll click install. And this may take some time depending upon the available storage space on your disk as well as the configurations of your computer. Once the installation is complete, you can see your screen like this, and I'm gonna click next again, and if you don't want to be taken to their website, then uncheck these two boxes and click finish. So that would be the completion of the installation of Jupyter Notebook. Upon installation, if you go to the Windows option, you can see that Anaconda Navigator has been installed, Jupyter Notebook has been installed. But if you go to all programs, you can see a folder named Anaconda 3. Click on the drop down menu and you can see Anaconda Navigator and Jupyter Notebook and Spider. So now I'll just click on Anaconda Navigator. So as you can see, it's opening in a terminal. So there are different methods as to how you can launch the Jupyter Notebook, and I will be showing you two methods. First is you click the Anaconda Navigator, it opens an interface like this, and then you click launch and this will automatically open the Jupyter notebook, you know, in your browser. So these are the some of the files which I've already worked on Jupyter notebook. As you can see here, they all end with the .ipynb. So this is one way, or else there are other methods too. So again, I'll go click on this and then go to Anaconda through here, and I'll take Anaconda prompt. Now, as you can see here, this is where our program was installed, and so automatically every time you click on the program, it actually opens up into this folder. But in case if you want to change the folder in which all these programs that you write are going to be stored, then use the command cd, and I would like to change it to a folder which is on my desktop, and I call it as EH610. So I will change it as cd desktop. So automatically I'm there, and then again I will go with cd EH610. So you can go for a simple folder name as well, because it highly depends on the syntax. I mean, it's case sensitive. So now that my folder has been established, that every program that I run needs to be stored in this folder, I can launch Jupyter notebook with a space in between. And again, this is going to open the Jupyter notebook on your browser. So as you can see, so those are the contents which I had in my folder, but apart from that, I can start working, and all my work is going to get saved in this folder. Now, this is the interface. In case if there are multiple windows running, you can see all of them here, that is notebooks. And since currently we don't have any running program, so it's not showing anything. Now let us begin with interaction of Jupyter notebook. As you can see here, this is a standard interface of the notebook, and it says untitled. You can always change the name of the Jupyter notebook by clicking on it, and I will give it as tutorial 1, and I click rename. It has automatically changed, and you can see this here. So at any cost, do not close this window. This needs to be running, and as well as this terminal needs to be running. And as if you open this terminal here, you can see that the Jupyter notebook is actually running from this particular directory, and this is your local directory. And in case if your Jupyter notebook doesn't open directly in the browser, you can always copy paste these links into your browser. Okay, so now coming back to the notebook, so there are different options, as you can see. First, let us say I want to say welcome. So what I basically did is that I changed, initially it was in code, I changed it to markdown. Markdown means there is no code in it. The program will consider it as just a text which needs to be displayed. Now I'm going to click run, and it shows like that. Let's say I want it to be bigger. Then I give streaks, and now the problem here is if it is in code, and if you give this hash symbol, it will automatically take it as a code. And in code, if a line begins with the symbol, it means it should not be executed. Now again, I'll change it to markdown, and you can see the difference. If you want it slightly smaller, just add one more, even more smaller, add one more, click run. So this is how Markdown works, and we usually use this Markdown for explaining a set of codes that are going to follow. Now I will shift back to code, and let us say I say print. And there's, like I told you in the beginning of this tutorial, there is a difference between Python 2 and Python 3. In Python 2, we never had to use these braces for print command, but in Python 3, the print command will execute only if it is within the braces. Now I'll say hello, and if I click print. So this is basically the very first thing, very basic program. And like I was saying, the difference between Python 2 and Python 3 is that in Python 2 we never had to use these braces. We just had to type print in comma hello, inverted comma hello. But in Python 3, anything which is inside the braces will be executed by the print command, otherwise it doesn't consider it. So this is about Markdown, and this is about code, and there are additional features of this which you can use, and like I told you, this keeps getting saved automatically, otherwise you can still click save and it gets saved. Now if I go to file option here, you can always download your Jupyter notebook, because this is very useful in case if you're sharing your work with your group members and so on. The commonly used version is IPYNB, because most of my teammates have notebook. In case if you're submitting assignments or something like that, then you can always go for an HTML file or a PDF depending on your convenience. And if you want to open multiple notebooks, even that is possible. I just went to file, new notebook, and Python 3. If I don't want, I just have to click leave, but it was saved in the original directory. So if I don't want that, I'll just click the checkbox, press the bin icon, and it is deleted and gone. So, and there are a few more shortcuts which will be helpful for you. For example, you want to insert a command before this line, then I will give it as, I'll just click the cell because that is my reference cell, and I'll say insert cell above, and it gets automatically inserted in the above cell. Or sometimes you want to move the cell up again, then again select the cell because this is my reference cell. I'll go to edit and move cell up, and it automatically moves up. So these are some of the basic commands, and one more important command is that this whole thing is called as a kernel, and in case if you want to restart and run all, or if you want to restart and clear all the outputs, because you would have written series of commands in each of these cells, so you can do that also. And in case if you are running a very long command and that is taking a lot of time, you can always pause it by using this button. So that will be all about introduction to Jupyter Notebook and how you can use it. In the next tutorial, we will be beginning with some of the simple operations using Jupyter Notebook.